Hey everybody, Crazy Marty here. Today I want to do a little rundown on a brand new chainsaw I just picked up from Chainsaws Direct, I think it was. Anyways, it's the Husqvarna 550 XPG, I believe. Really nice saw. I've had Huskies in the past. I've also had Stills. You know, the Husky and the Still in the same category, in the same size engine. It's a toss-up. I mean, Still makes a great product. Husky makes a great product. And you can't go wrong with either one of the two saws. But the Husky was 2 pounds lighter. So when you're lugging around a chainsaw, 2 pounds does make a big difference, especially with a 20-inch bar. You know, some people say, oh, the 550 is a little too small for 20-inch, but it pulls it just fine. Let me show you what this thing looks like. Oh, and the XPG, the little G that's on there, that stands for a heated grip, which if you're ever out in the cold and you're running that thing in the cold weather, a heated grip is definitely nice. Let me show you the saw. This is the new Husqvarna 550 XPG. So it's got a little switch right here to turn on and turn off your heated handlebars, so that way you get some warmth coming in. It does have a little push button primer thingy right here. Spinning around this way because the lighting's getting weird. Yeah, it's the 550 XPG, the Mark II apparently. That's what all the new ones are. It's got, you know, standard brake on the front right here. Now they do have another version where they have a brake that's also back here, so that way you're forced to stay in a safe position, which is a good idea. Let's take and pop the cap off and we can show you what's in there. Look at that. Ooh. All right, one thing I did notice is this tip is not replaceable. Some have replaceable. This one's also not lubable, so there's no lube holes on either side of this thing. You really can't tell there with that little blinding light from the trailer, but yeah, I know the chain's loose, but you know, I haven't started this thing up yet. It's a brand new saw, all shiny and clean, and I really don't want to get it dirty, but you know, that's just the way it is. Have to do that here at some point. Let's take and pop this top cover off and see what's underneath here. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've popped the little tops loose. It's got little plasticky clips that hold the top on here, and that just pulls right off. And there we got the saw. Let's see what all we got hiding in this thing. There is it's got some computerized carburetor stuff going on in there. It's actually really nice the way this is made. Go around the other side here. You can see it's got computerized carburetor for automatic elevation control. So if you go up in elevation, it leans out the carburetor. You don't have to mess with that. You know, technology today versus what I had before. Spark arrestor on there that you can replace, which is nice. So if your spark arrestor gets plugged up, you can just take a screwdriver, whip that thing off, and keep on going, and watch it shoot flames out. And in the package, it does come with another air filter, and it does come with this little blue thing here, which all you do is you take and you drill a little hole in there, a little hole in here, and then this thing will attach on there like that, and it covers up the bottom portions of the air vent, so that way you can run it when they say -3 Celsius, which, you know, in other words, when it's friggin' cold, you put that thing on there. That makes the motor run a little warmer, keep everything operational better. You know, which is a really smart idea. And you also get some tools. You know, there's your standard Sparky plug wrench and some other little wrenchy things in there. It does not come with a chainsaw with a scabbard over the thing there. That's extra. But you know, that's the way it is when you start getting into the commercialized stuff. It is a good saw, that's for sure. And one thing that a lot of people don't know is that once you take off the side cover here, in the end of the crankshaft, there's a place that you would take your grease gun, and you stick your grease gun in there and you give it a couple of pumps of grease. And what that does is that lubricates the bearing that's hiding back down inside. I don't know if I can get in there or not. But the bearing that's down inside of there, it'll lubricate the bearing that's in there, that's on the crankshaft. Because, you know, you have your clutch and then the crankshaft. So that clutch bearing needs to be lubricated And if you don't lube it and you just keep running it and running it and running it and not knowing that that thing needs to have lubrication, you wind up burning it up. And then what happens is every time you start the saw, the chain continuously moves, which that means your bearing's not been lubricated. So you always want to make sure you take that off and put a couple of pumps of grease in there and make sure that's all good to go. This also does have an adjustable oiler. So there is an adjustable oiler system. It's got 3 positions, low, medium, and high. And when you're on a 20-inch bar, you want to have it on high, even though I recommend just burning lots of oil anyways, because, hey, we're burning fuel, might as well burn oil too. But, you know, on that, it's pretty good. It looks to be a pretty good saw. I'll have to put some fuel in it and get it going, oil it up, and then I'll do the proper break-in, which is, you know, you start it up and you let it idle for quite a while. You don't want to sit there and just immediately fire it up and go right into full throttle mode, because aluminum pistons expand at a different rate than the cylinder, and then the cylinder does. So a lot of guys that do construction, they actually fire up their saw right away, and then you just go full throttle and they cut through the lumber or whatever, and then after a while, next you know, their saw binds up and locks up. That's because they never let the saw warm up before using it. So make sure you let your saw warm up before using it, please. Especially when you get into something that's this nice and cost some bucks. But yeah, it's a good saw. I've had Husqvarnas in the past, and I've also had Stills in the past. Shouldn't have sold the ones I had because they were just fine, but you know, I didn't know that my new job was going to require me to have a new 20-inch chainsaw. I got a little electric one that's hiding over there, which is 12-inch, but it's fun. So anyways, there's the Husqvarna. That's all for now. So there you go, folks. That's my new saw. Oh, I forgot to show you this cool thing. I got a little place to hang it too. See, I got this cool little holder thing here. This thing here, it goes in here, you just tighten this thing down, and that keeps your saw in place. I got this thing from Max Tie Down, I believe it was, and then I just took and built a shelf. Come out of there. So I built a shelf right here. So I took and made an aluminum shelf, put some holes in it so that way I can chain down the chainsaw to the bottom of the bed, and that's my chainsaw holder. Alrighty, folks, so there we go. Yeah, that's right. Nothing more American than chainsaws, guns, and dogs, and wide open spaces. So I sold the house. The adventure should start soon, and we're going to start documenting what happens and where we go and how we wind up there. Should be kind of interesting, so make sure you tag along, hit that little subscribe button. Well, I'd say hit the bell notification, the little ding-a-ling button, but YouTube took away the ding-a-ling, so I don't know what to tell you. In the meantime, this is Crazy Marty. I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. Bye-bye.